What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, Third Gen Junkies. Out here in the garage today. It is Sunday. I'm not even sure what the date is. I know it's toward the end of the month, 29th, I believe, something of that nature. So basically, did a lot of cleaning around the garage, organizing, getting rid of stuff. As you can see, I'm actually standing where Black Magic's usually parked. My wife took my daughter to the park. I've just been cleaning up, moving stuff around, and getting rid of stuff here and there. That's what I did all day yesterday. And basically, like I hung these fans up here. I got one up there, and I got the orange wire that runs all the way over that connects to the other one that's up over there. And what that's for is basically what that's for is I have a torpedo heater, which is right there. I've never used it. I've had it 2 years. My wife bought it for me. There was so much stuff in the garage at one point that I had no room to actually be able to use it. So I'm gonna get a propane tank and hook it up. Those fans that I just showed you are basically so I can circulate more air around the garage instead of having the heat in just one area. It'll actually move the air around and keep the whole garage warm. Because as you can tell, my garage is not insulated at all. There's nothing. And technically, I don't own this garage, so I don't want to roll out insulation and then start hanging drywall and running all the electrical and everything and making everything the way I want it, just to turn around and have, you know, the house possibly get sold or something, and then I have to move everything, and now I put all this money into it. And so basically, at one point you couldn't even walk right here in between where the cars were at all. Only thing in the way now is the air compressor, which I can move. There was a whole bunch of stuff back here. I got rid of all that. So basically I was making room so I could work on Ruby, because Purple Haze right now is out at Ken Dage's house, and I didn't show any of this on video. I didn't even make a video, didn't even think about it, honestly. But I came out here the other night and I bolted the hood on it. The hood shocks are shot. I swapped them out with a set that I thought was good, which they were bad as well. So I got a pole holding the hood up. But plan today is basically, but what I plan on doing today is I plan on taking everything that's inside this car out, and I plan on putting it all over there where Black Magic is. And I got some rust kill stop stuff from Ken that I am going to take, and I am basically going to hit the spots that are rusted through to get them to stop. Kind of like some of the stuff right here at the bottom. I'm just gonna paint it right there. I don't even care. I just want it to stop. Even the stuff like right here by the door and here and around the gas cap, I'm just gonna paint it with the rust stop stuff. You can actually see the light shining through right there. I'm just gonna do the inside and the outside of that, and a few of the other holes that are through the car, because this is a daily. I'm literally gonna do nothing with it besides get it up and running, get it finished, get the interior back in it so that I can just drive it. I mean, this will be a car that'll be left outside. I really won't care too much about it. I do got some nice rims over there that I gotta get tires for to put on this. And these rims and tires will actually come off because these are brand new tires and go on to Purple Haze. I do have to buy one good tire because one of them has a big hole in the sidewall, and then they're going to get switched over. And then so basically I'm going to pull everything that's inside this car out. It's all going to go on the floor over there. I'm going to do the rust treatment. But before I do all that, and I kind of got a head start on it already, is I started running the transmission lines. I got some pre-bent lines from my guy, Brett Thomas. Shout out to Brett. Another third gen enthusiast, a guy that parts out cars. I deal with him a lot. As you can see here, I ran the trans line and ran it down. Was running them under the frame. Get under here, show you. up in there. I mean, the header is kind of in the way, but I just got through I wasn't sure how hard it was going to be to run them, so I ran them myself off camera to see how hard it was going to be. I just got to basically tighten them down now, and then do the rest. Oh, look, it's the Munchkin. Say hi to YouTube. Say hi. Hi. But so yeah, I'm basically gonna get together with all this stuff. I'm gonna get these tightened down. Hold on, Nanos. I'm gonna tighten all this stuff down, and then I'm gonna remove everything out from the inside of the car, set you up on the tripod so you can see the time lapse, and we're gonna get this show on the road. All right, guys. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna tighten down these transmission lines. This one right here. So you guys can see better. Transmission lines here. The one thing I've always been told, no matter what you do, you always start them by hand and get them going. I have my bag with my line wrenches. I actually have a really nice, or older, but it's a set of where the one end is open, so you can tighten it all the way down and then use the box end, which is the line wrench end. This one I already tightened up. Also, another thing I always use is a brush to clean off the threads of the line before I thread it in, because if you don't, you get dirt in there or debris, then you're going to have issues trying to fight with it, try to get this to go in and actually tighten down without having any issues. So what I do is I tighten it. These have a little bit of stripness to them. You can always tell if it's tightened all the way, because if the line itself doesn't move inside the fitting, if this is tight and this line still moves, that means something's wrong, like it's cross-threaded. Now I'll use my box end. Make sure it's got a decent little tightening on it, so that one's good. Bring you guys over here. Go down under the car real quick and see if we can get the rest of this together. Have to crawl on the ground under these cars anymore. Oh yeah, safety first. Got my safety glasses. This fitting is actually it's right here, chilling, the bottom one. So what I'll do is just spin it like this on the line itself. So I can, there's a lot of rust right here too. But just try to clean it up, make it a little easier. And it's gonna go right here. But looks like it might actually fall short, or the bends aren't totally right. So it looks like we might have to put some bends in it to get it right. Not all these cars are the exact same, and anybody that tells you that you can take a part out of one Camaro and stick it right onto another, it's probably lying, because it's rare when something bolts right up from one car to another. I mean, extremely rare. So as you can see, we got this S-curve on the line, and the line's already sitting against the fan shroud right there, and we've got easily a good inch from it making it. So probably gonna have to put some bends and straighten it out a little bit, and then so basically it's kind of hard to see, but I'm kind of straightening out this line a little bit to try to get it in there, which is crazy because I literally didn't have it in there, and I turned the camera on for you guys, and lo and behold, magic. Let's see if we can get it to thread in. God, I'm talking about real magic. I've never had that happen before. I mean, ever. I was just physically sitting here messing with it to try to get it in there and bending it here and there and trying to put some straights in it, and I'll straighten it out some more so that I could get it to go in, and just like that I turn the camera on and it flops right in without a problem. Getting it started. That seems like it might be a little bit of an issue, and I wonder why this. What in the world is going on with this drain plug? The radiator has antifreeze in it, so I don't know why this drain plug's loose like this. I swear, if Jeremy put the wrong radiator in this, if I put antifreeze in it and it leaks out on the floor, I'm going to be highly upset. And for all of you that don't know, Jeremy is a former friend that I used to help work on cars a lot, and we are no longer friends. So I don't deal with him. There's a lot of money involved, a lot of unpaid debts, a lot of disrespect, not just on his part but also on mine, but mainly on his. So I basically had to kill a volatile friendship, and he did some work on this car for me. I'm hoping and praying that a lot of this stuff's right, because I was not there when a lot of this stuff got done. It's kind of hard to see. I got my safety glasses on because there's so much rust under here. It's hard to see what's going on, where I need this thing to be. Looks like the push up on the radiator hose to give me a little bit of room so I can wiggle my line and get my threads to start. But it looks like possibly I might have to put another bend in it, because it seems like it's not where it needs to be again. So I need to this is the problem. There's not a whole lot of room here for me to try to bend this. So I kind of need to straighten this out. It's either that or I notch the fan shroud, and I really don't care to do all that. See, I got it in. Get it in. It's just trying to get the threads started. Problem. You have to start these by hand. You have to get them to go by hand, because if you sit there and crank them in and cross thread them, then you are screwed. you are totally screwed, because you either tear up the radiator or you tear up the threads and it'll leak. And oh boy, it will leak. So, alright guys, after using the old box end wrench here, putting a slight bend on the end where the thread is. I actually got the thread in. As you can see right there, transmission line is against the fan shroud, as well as the other one, which as soon as I get the other ends on the transmission, I will make adjustments and bend them down to where they're not hitting everything. I do believe these are stainless lines as well. That's probably why they're so hard to bend. But yeah, so I finally got it started. That drain plug that Jeremy had that was loose in there or whatever, I did pour water in the radiator. It did leak out, but I did get it tightened down so it will hold antifreeze. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this line down now, and then go to the back and start working on that, getting the lines on the transmission actually hooked up, because we got to get the fluid. Go ahead and tighten this with the open end first. Sorry this is taking so long, guys. It's been a struggle, and I had to take a few minutes to go put my daughter down for her nap. So it's snug there. I'll take the box in. Nice quarter turn just to make sure. Wiggle the line. Make sure it don't move, and the fitting don't move, and it looks good. So then we'll go to the back, hook up the trans lines. Some of this stuff I really don't like. Some things about this car. The fuel lines are ran, because the fuel lines are on the driver's side over here. And they're ran right here, and this is the fuel line, and I mean they did it right, but it's extremely tight. And then it comes up, it goes behind this bracket here to a fuel pump or fuel filter that's here, right to the fuel pump. And there's like no slack whatsoever in any of this, which, I mean, like right here, it's extremely tight against everything. It could rub through. I don't know, just for starting purposes, I'll probably leave it. I'll probably end up rerunning it. I might use the same line, just damn pieces missing from the front. And the air dam piece usually it bolts from right here, and it curves and comes down. This is one of the air dam pieces here. Allows air to come up through the radiator. It basically sends air up through the radiator or whatever. But radiator support's a little rusty. Big deal. So I'm gonna move to the back of the car and start hooking up these back trans lines. So there again, you got to remember this all this dirt and all this crap and scrapes and everything on the oil pan, everything you see is from when I first built this motor like 18 years ago, and it's only got 7 miles on it. So don't criticize me too hard, guys. I mean, it's a project. What can you expect? But I'm gonna move to the back. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, guys. I'm back. I had to jack the car up, get some clearance because I had my jack stand right here, almost directly across from the other one, and it was in my way to be able to get up in here. Be able to get up in there. You can see up in there. Got the one trans line set in there. I haven't started tightening it down yet, and then I got to run the bottom trans line as well. Let's see, right up in there. So I got the one sitting in there. I'm gonna try to start that one and get it going and tighten it down, and then I'll start the bottom one and tighten that one down, and then see where it's rubbing on everything and make a few bends, keep everything off from rubbing on everything, and you know, get everything straightened out. And then I think the next step after that is I think I'm gonna fill up the well, I need to pull this dipstick tube out, and I got the replacement that I need to go ahead and swap that out, which is gonna be a pain because trans dipstick tube tab, I believe, is held on by that one transmission bell housing bolt up there. I think the tab is broke off on this one and it's all bent to hell, and I lost the dipstick, so I don't know how much fluid's in the trans. The main reason why I got it from Brett. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can possibly get my hands up in here and see if I can get this thing started, because I don't know, there's not a whole lot of room. I can't even barely get my hand in there, let alone get a wrench or anything in there. I don't even know how these people actually do this. I've never really had to mess with these transmission lines like this too much. I mean, for the most part, we normally just cut them off at the radiator and cut them off right here when we pull them out of a car. I've never really had to put a set back in a car. So this is a first. So I guess we're going to see how this is going to go. Hopefully I can get a wrench in there and crank them down. I might actually have to remove the trans dipstick just so I can kind of get a wrench in there at an angle just to tighten it. And hope and pray to God there ain't a whole lot of transmission fluid in there, because if it does, that means it's going to make a mess everywhere. But let's try to move this guy out of the way a little bit. Let's see, because I have small hands, but gosh, it's not like there's like no room whatsoever to even. I'll try to bend this a little bit. Trying to see. Oh, it looks like there's definitely some gunk in the transmission lines right there. So that's a little be right back. I had to go grab a pick. Or else it's not going to start very well. Alright, got a pick, so hopefully I can that one's looking good. Let's try this guy. Not sure what that is. Oh. Looks like dirt or something. I already cleaned the threads off of the transmission line itself, because basically from being around down here and bending and moving and whatever, they have literally like scraped against everything on the bottom of the car. So there's a lot of dust and dirt and rust and debris and stuff on the threads. I'm just trying to make sure there's nothing there. There always seems to be stuff in the way. I just bet my pick on purpose. It's kind of hard to see in there. Make sure there's nothing in there. Oh, it's so dry out here, my knuckles are bleeding. Wow. Crazy. Okay, I did have it in there. There we go. Doesn't look like it's going to go easily either, as usual. Nothing can ever be easy. Looks to me like I need to put it back right here. Since it's sitting against the transmission, it's not going to actually sit where it needs to go. It's kind of hard to see. Got this awesome light, but it's like super long, so it don't fit into super tight spaces. You guys barely see up in there, but let's see here. It's almost like the end of it needs to be bent straight. So, as usual, even though I don't want to do this, I am going to bring this down like so. And I'm going to put a wrench here. And just a hair. You always got to make sure that the fitting still spins, so that you don't want to kink it right where it spins, unless you're going to have an issue. It won't spin if you kink the damn line. So that looks really, really close there. Alright, I'll be back, guys. Alright guys, I'm back. It's like 3.5 hours later. Had to stop and go get propane so wife could make dinner and some other stuff. But yeah, so after fighting and bending and just having one heck of a time here, I don't know how well see it. My battery died on my Milwaukee flashlight, so